Here's something that might surprise you. After age 60, your brain can still grow new connections, build stronger networks, and even increase in volume in certain key regions. But there's a catch. It doesn't happen by itself, and the solution isn't what most people think. If you're over 60, you've probably noticed that remembering names takes a bit longer, or finding the right word doesn't come as easily as it used to. You might wonder if this is just part of getting older. The truth is, some cognitive changes are normal with aging. But here's the exciting part. Decades of neuroscience research show that one specific type of exercise can actually strengthen your brain, protect your memory, and may even help slow or partially reverse some age-related decline. In this video, I'll explain exactly what this exercise is, why it works, and what the science tells us about building a healthier brain after 60. Let me start with what happens to our brains as we age. After age 60, certain changes naturally occur. The hippocampus, the brain region responsible for forming new memories and learning, tends to shrink by about 1 to 2% per year in older adults. This shrinkage is linked to difficulties with memory and spatial navigation. Additionally, the connections between brain cells, called synapses, can become less efficient. Blood flow to the brain may decrease, and inflammation can increase. These changes don't mean cognitive decline is inevitable, but they do explain why many people experience some memory challenges as they get older. For years, scientists believed that brain aging was irreversible. The prevailing view was that we're born with all the brain cells we'll ever have, and it's downhill from there. But research over the past 2 decades has completely changed this understanding. We now know that the brain retains remarkable plasticity throughout life. This means it can reorganize itself, form new neural connections, and in some specific regions, even generate new neurons, a process called neurogenesis. So what triggers this positive brain change? The answer is aerobic exercise. Aerobic exercise, also called cardiovascular or endurance exercise, is any activity that increases your heart rate and breathing for an extended period. This includes walking briskly, swimming, cycling, dancing, or jogging. What makes aerobic exercise special for brain health is how it affects your body systems. When you engage in sustained aerobic activity, your heart pumps more blood throughout your body, including to your brain. This increased blood flow delivers more oxygen and nutrients to brain cells, which supports their function and survival. But the benefits go much deeper than just blood flow. Research suggests that aerobic exercise triggers the release of specific proteins in the brain, particularly one called brain-derived neurotrophic factor, or BDNF. Think of BDNF as fertilizer for your brain cells. It supports the survival of existing neurons and encourages the growth of new neurons and synapses. Studies have found that higher levels of BDNF are associated with better memory and learning. One of the most influential studies in this field was published by researchers at the University of Pittsburgh and the University of Illinois. The study involved 120 adults aged 55 to 80 who were previously sedentary. Half of the participants were assigned to walk briskly for 40 minutes, 3 times per week. The other half did stretching and toning exercises, which served as the control group. After 1 year, the results were remarkable. Brain scans using MRI technology showed that the aerobic exercise group experienced an increase in hippocampus volume of about 2%. In contrast, the control group showed the typical age-related decline, with their hippocampus shrinking by about 1.5%. Essentially, the aerobic exercise group gained back 1 to 2 years' worth of hippocampus volume. This increase in hippocampus size was associated with improvements in memory function. The participants who exercised aerobically also showed higher levels of BDNF in their blood. This wasn't an isolated finding. Multiple studies have confirmed that regular aerobic exercise is linked to larger brain volumes in specific regions, particularly in the frontal and temporal areas, which are critical for executive function and memory. Research published in journals such as Neurology and the Journal of Alzheimer's Disease has consistently shown that older adults who engage in regular aerobic activity demonstrate better cognitive performance compared to those who are sedentary. What's particularly encouraging is that these benefits appear to be accessible to most people. You don't need to run marathons or engage in extreme fitness routines. Moderate intensity aerobic exercise performed consistently appears to be sufficient. Moderate intensity means you're working hard enough to raise your heart rate and break a sweat, but you can still hold a conversation while exercising. The mechanisms behind these benefits are still being studied, but researchers have identified several important pathways. Beyond BDNF, aerobic exercise appears to reduce inflammation in the brain. Chronic inflammation is associated with cognitive decline and neurodegenerative diseases. Exercise also improves insulin sensitivity and glucose metabolism, which supports brain energy supply. Additionally, some studies indicate that aerobic exercise may help reduce the buildup of harmful proteins, such as amyloid and tau, which are associated with Alzheimer's disease. Another important aspect is that aerobic exercise seems to enhance the brain's vascular health. The brain requires a constant supply of oxygen and nutrients delivered through an extensive network of blood vessels. As we age, these vessels can become damaged or less efficient. Regular aerobic activity helps maintain and may even improve the health of these blood vessels, ensuring that the brain receives the resources it needs to function optimally. The cognitive domains that appear most responsive to aerobic exercise include memory, attention, processing speed, and executive functions like planning and problem solving. These are precisely the areas where many people notice age-related changes. The evidence suggests that starting or maintaining an aerobic exercise routine after 60 may help preserve these cognitive abilities and, in some cases, improve them. Now that we understand why aerobic exercise is so powerful for brain health, let's talk about how to put this science into practice. The key question most people have is, how much exercise do I need? Based on the research, the general recommendation for older adults is to aim for at least 150 minutes of moderate intensity aerobic exercise per week. This breaks down to about 30 minutes a day, 5 days a week. However, some studies suggest that even smaller amounts can provide benefits. If you're currently inactive, starting with just 10 to 15 minutes of brisk walking several times per week is a valuable first step. The important thing is consistency over time. What counts as moderate intensity? A simple way to gauge this is the talk test. During moderate intensity exercise, you should be able to talk, but not sing. Your breathing will be elevated, and you'll feel your heart beating faster, but you shouldn't feel completely out of breath. Examples include brisk walking at a pace of about 3 to 4 miles per hour, swimming laps at a comfortable pace, cycling on level terrain. It's worth noting that the exercise doesn't need to happen all at once. Research indicates that breaking up your activity into shorter sessions throughout the day could be just as beneficial. 3 10-minute walks spread across the day can provide similar benefits to one 30-minute session. This flexibility makes it easier to fit exercise into your daily routine. One question people often ask is whether higher intensity exercise provides greater brain benefits. Some preliminary evidence suggests that vigorous intensity aerobic exercise, where you're breathing hard and can only speak in short phrases, might offer additional cognitive advantages. However, the difference appears modest, and moderate intensity seems to provide substantial benefits while being safer and more sustainable for most older adults. The best approach is to find an intensity level that you can maintain consistently without injury or excessive fatigue. Beyond memory and hippocampus growth, aerobic exercise appears to benefit other aspects of brain health as well. Studies have found associations between regular aerobic activity and reduced risk of dementia. A large analysis published in the British Journal of Sports Medicine examined data from thousands of older adults and found that those who engaged in regular physical activity had a significantly lower risk of developing dementia compared to inactive individuals. While exercise cannot guarantee prevention of dementia, the evidence suggests it is one of the most promising modifiable risk factors we can address. Aerobic exercise has also been linked to improvements in mood and reduced symptoms of depression and anxiety in older adults. This is particularly relevant because mental health and cognitive health are closely connected. The same mechanisms that support brain structure and function, such as increased BDNF and reduced inflammation, also appear to support emotional well-being. Another benefit is improved sleep quality. Many older adults experience changes in sleep patterns, and poor sleep can negatively affect memory and cognitive function. Research suggests that regular aerobic exercise can help improve sleep duration and quality, which in turn supports brain health. While the benefits of aerobic exercise are clear, there are some common mistakes that can limit effectiveness or increase injury risk. First, doing too much too soon is a frequent problem. If you've been inactive for a while, suddenly exercising vigorously every day can lead to injury, exhaustion, or burnout. It's important to start gradually and increase duration and intensity slowly over weeks and months. Second, some people focus exclusively on one type of aerobic exercise. While consistency with any aerobic activity is valuable, incorporating variety can help prevent boredom and overuse injuries. Mixing walking with swimming or cycling, for example, can keep exercise interesting and work different muscle groups. Third, neglecting other forms of exercise can be a limitation. While this video focuses on aerobic exercise because of its strong evidence for brain benefits, other types of physical activity are also important for overall health. Resistance training, which builds muscle strength, has been associated with improvements in executive function and memory in some studies. Balance and flexibility exercises are crucial for preventing falls and maintaining independence. A well-rounded exercise program that includes aerobic activity as its foundation, along with strength and balance work, is ideal for healthy aging. Fourth, ignoring warning signs or pre-existing health conditions can be dangerous. Before starting a new exercise program, especially if you have heart disease, diabetes, joint problems, or other health concerns, it's important to consult with a healthcare provider. They can help you determine what types and intensities of exercise are safe for your specific situation. Aerobic exercise is powerful, but it works even better when combined with other evidence-based strategies for brain health. Nutrition plays a significant role. Research suggests that dietary patterns rich in vegetables, fruits, whole grains, fish, and healthy fats, such as those found in the Mediterranean diet, are associated with better cognitive function and reduced risk of cognitive decline. Staying socially engaged also appears important. Studies have found that maintaining social connections and participating in meaningful social activities are linked to better cognitive health in older adults. Cognitive stimulation through learning new skills, reading, puzzles, or other mentally challenging activities may also contribute to cognitive reserve. The brain benefits from being challenged in different ways. Sleep, as mentioned earlier, is crucial. Aiming for 7 to 8 hours of quality sleep per night supports memory consolidation and brain health. Managing chronic conditions like high blood pressure, diabetes, and high cholesterol is also important, as these conditions can affect brain health over time. When aerobic exercise is part of a broader lifestyle approach that includes good nutrition, social engagement, mental stimulation, quality sleep, and management of health conditions, the combined effect appears to be greater than any single factor alone. The science is clear and encouraging. After 60, your brain is not fixed or destined for decline. Regular aerobic exercise, the type that gets your heart pumping and your blood flowing, can help increase the volume of brain regions critical for memory, support the growth of new neural connections, and help protect against cognitive decline. Studies involving thousands of older adults have demonstrated that those who engage in consistent, moderate-intensity aerobic activity show measurable improvements in brain structure and function. You don't need expensive equipment or a gym membership. You don't need to be an athlete. What you need is commitment to move your body regularly, at a pace that challenges you but remains sustainable. Whether it's brisk walking through your neighborhood, swimming at a local pool, or cycling on a stationary bike, the key is to find an aerobic activity you can stick with over time. The benefits extend beyond your brain. Your heart, muscles, bones, mood, and overall quality of life can all improve. But knowing that every step, every swim stroke, every pedal rotation is literally supporting a stronger, more resilient brain makes the effort even more worthwhile. If you're over 60 and want to protect your cognitive health, start moving. Start today. Start small if you need to, but start. Your brain will thank you. Like and subscribe for more brain health tips.